While my favorite breakfast is a breakfast casserole with plenty of meat and cheese and eggs and vegetables, today I'm making my second favorite, pancakes. Thanks for joining me today on Susan's Cozy Kitchen while I'm making breakfast. First thing I need to do is to plug in my griddle and have it start preheating so that as soon as I have the pancakes mixed up, the griddle will be hot and ready to cook. You'll need to adjust your griddle's temperature or the temperature on your stove if you're making your pancakes in an actual frying pan to the temperature that you need. Until you know what temperature you need, always do one test pancake so that you get it adjusted properly and then move on. This is preheating. I'm going to move this out of the way over here. I'll pull it back over when it's time to cook. Let's talk about the recipe. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour already in my bowl. To that, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of sugar. In here, I've already put together 4 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So all of that goes in. The next part is optional, but this is what I think makes my pancakes a little bit extra special. Ground cinnamon. If you have apple pie spice, a sprinkle of that would be great too, but I usually just do straight cinnamon. I don't measure it, but I don't use a lot. I will do like 2 sprinkles of the cinnamon into there, and that's it. I'm going to take my spatula and mix all of that together. Okay, and then I make a kind of a hole in the center. A lot of people call it a well, so there's a nice little deep well in there. In that, I'm going to pour 1.5 cups of milk, and this is 2% milk. You can use skim or whole milk, whatever you like. We drink 2%, so that's what I put in there. 1 lightly beaten egg, and the reason I do that before I put it in here is it just makes it easier to mix everything together. 2 teaspoons of good vanilla extract. If you're using a less expensive brand, I would go ahead and up this to a tablespoon. But I have 2 teaspoons of good vanilla extract and a 1/4 cup of melted butter. And now just mix these together. I forgot to say at the beginning, these are going to be really thick and fluffy pancakes, and your batter is going to be super thick. Just mix everything together. If it's a little lumpy, that's okay. It's kind of like muffins. You don't want to overmix, you just want to mix it together. All right, so there's all of that mixed together. Okay, it's up to temperature now. I'm only going to make 2 pancakes right now because the rest of this is for the family when they come in to join me after we finish filming. But I'll make 2 right now to show you, and then I'll cook the rest later. So I have a 1/2 cup measuring spoon here, or measuring cup, and I'm just going to, okay, it's not coming out exactly circular, but that's okay. All right, so there's my 2. Now, if you don't want really thick, really fluffy pancakes, add more milk to the batter and that will thin it out more. I really like thick, fluffy pancakes, so I like this ratio of milk to flour. But again, you can always add more milk to it to make them thinner. Even if it's just slightly thinner, you can do that. I'm going to actually lower my temperature because I believe that's cooking a little bit too fast. And when you're cooking pancakes, especially nice thick ones like this, you want to watch it so that you see it starting to dry out around the edges and start cooking up through. You don't want to flip them too soon. They're starting to look a little dry around the edges now, but I don't have any bubbles coming up and popping yet, so keep cooking. Pancakes are one of those things, if you've never made them before, it's not something that you can walk away from unless it's maybe to walk over, pour yourself a cup of coffee and come back. You've got to stay with them because they will burn quickly. I'm going to just give it a quick little look. All right, they're starting to brown on the bottom. They're looking great. Drying around the edges, so let's flip and flip. And look how thick these are. They're probably almost a ½ inch thick, maybe a little bit more. And they're going to continue to rise as they cook. When you flip these and you're making the really thick pancakes like this, watch around the edge and wait until you don't see wetness in the middle of the pancake here. And then that's when you'll know that they've cooked all the way through. If you're still seeing moisture and wetness in that middle area there, your pancakes still have batter on the inside. Not sure if you can really see it. I took some pictures so that I could pop it up here in the corner. There's still a little bit of moisture in that area right there, right in the middle. So until that is dry looking, I will keep cooking these. The bottom side is looking like it's cooked pretty thoroughly, so I am going to flip these one more time. I usually don't do that, but these turned out thicker than normal. Probably because normally I'll use about 1/3 of a cup. Today I went for the half to make them a little bit bigger, so it's taking a little bit longer to cook, and I feel like I need to flip it back onto the first side so that really finishes cooking the batter that was on that side. On the weekends, we like to do brunch. Pancakes is one of our go-to meals. And these are fantastic to do breakfast for dinner because they're so thick, they're more filling. Make some pancakes, some bacon, sausage, eggs. You've got a nice, full, filling meal to have breakfast for dinner. The other thing that I always do when I make pancakes like this, pure maple syrup, heated so that it's nice and warm when I pour it on the pancake. Fabulous, I'm telling you. One last tip, if you're wondering if they're cooked through because they're looking good on the outside but they're so thick you're just not sure, you can do the test like you do with a cake, brownies, whatever. I have a Pampered Chef cake tester. Do that right down the middle. If it comes out clean, they are done, and these are done. So let's put them on the plate. Okay, look how thick and fluffy and wonderful those look. Let's add a pat of butter to the top. There's some butter, and on goes the syrup. Okay, so we have, it's nice and hot, so the butter is melting and looking wonderful. All right, let's cut into this and have a bite. All right, this is so thick. I can only eat just a piece of one at a time. It's light, it's fluffy, it's tasty, everything you could want in a pancake. The inside is just very tender and just pillow-light. Because you put butter inside, if you don't want the extra calories of putting butter on top of your pancake, you can absolutely forego that. It's not going to make a huge amount of difference in the taste. It's just delicious. I'm going to stop talking and finish cooking so that we can have brunch. As always, the full recipe is in the description box here below the video. Be sure and check that out. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure and give it a big thumbs up. If you've not already, please do subscribe. It does help my channel to grow. And be sure to ring that bell so that you are notified every time I upload a new video to YouTube. Thanks for joining me today. God bless.